You've heard the old adage that one man or one woman trash is another person's treasure. Well, in today's episode, we're going to talk about lost opportunities and how lost opportunities, whether they're yours or someone else on your team, could be treasure, could be buried treasure, could be precious, but you're probably just overlooking them. And I'm going to give you some stats and explain to you why. Ooh, gonna be some good stuff. Rummaging through the trash. Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here and to evangelize with you today and to talk to you about trash. Let me show you an example. This here is my trash can. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you're not watching the YouTube video, I'm holding up a physical trash can because we're going to talk about trash and how sometimes one person's trash could be your treasure. If you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and hit subscribe. There's a little button that you will see, a little bell. Hit that as well because then you will get notified whenever we're producing a new episode. And I would love to connect with you. And here's what I want you to do. How many of you, if you're watching this video, you're on YouTube, I want you to go ahead and comment. Tell me how many of you, or if you have ever won a deal again that came from a lost opportunity. So basically, did you ever win a deal that was officially lost at one point? And I want to know if you did. Just go ahead and comment below. If you're listening to this podcast, I want you to go ahead and find me on LinkedIn, Donald C. Kelly, and tell me if you did. Just send me a message saying, yes, I've won a deal from a lost opportunity, or I've never won a deal. And let me clarify what a lost opportunity is. You're working with a prospect. He or she was very excited to work with you. They were an inbound lead, or maybe you just found them just doing cold outreach. You got a hold of this person. You walked them through the process, but then for some reason, something happened. Something in that sales cycle caused it to go not so good. And then you had to label the deal as lost. Maybe, for instance, it was a budgetary issue, or perhaps the person left, or maybe they lost interest, or maybe the timing wasn't right. There are a myriad of different reasons, and we actually have some statistics. I want to share with you a couple of them. Let's see if I can pull that up here. This is from our friends over at HubSpot. Check this out. Almost half of deals are lost because of budget. Almost half of those lost deals are lost because of budget. 25% are marked closed lost because of timing. So timing, again, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe you don't have the money. Maybe coronavirus came around. There are many different reasons. Lack of authority. Maybe the right person wasn't a part of the deal that would be able to help the deal to progress forward. Time to review. Perhaps they had too much time and they wanted to review it, they want to take it back, and for some reason just fizzled out. Urgency are the third and fourth. Urgency is the last one there. So, and the most common reason, obviously, go back up to the budget, but the urgency probably just wasn't the right time for them. They could continue doing what they were doing before. So let's say it's a CRM. Perhaps their current vendor, they're not great, but it gets the job done. And some other things became more important. So your job became, or your deal became a back burner item and just fizzled out. For whatever reason it is, you then label that opportunity or that deal on your pipeline as lost opportunity. And you end it, and perhaps you tried reaching out multiple times and they ghost you. So you just, I can't waste my time on this. I got to go focus on people who are ready. You put that in a pile. Now, think about all of those deals, all of those lost opportunities that are sitting there. Could there be gold in them? They're trash. And the answer is yes, there is. And let me tell you a story. We were using a software, and the software helped us. I may have shared this in the previous episode and alluded to it, but I want to just make this a full circle. We were using the software, and I like it. I actually enjoy the software, but obviously with some of the changes that were going on with our team and so forth, and then with COVID, we didn't necessarily need to use this software as much. This was just not something that was highly important to us now. So we went ahead and we canceled the service. In this case, I was already a customer, but I canceled the service and just went on with life. Started focusing on some other things. Then several weeks later, you get those emails and so forth. But then things came to where it was in the middle of the COVID pandemic, and I'm sure they were hurting. They weren't doing too well. But some really smart sales rep or a member on their team figured, let's go back and look at people who canceled their subscription. At least these individuals who are now lost deals or lost opportunities, they were with us at one point. Why did they leave? Can we generate interest in that again, in our product or service again, and get them back in? So I got an email, and I talked about one of these strategies before, is that you want to create an offer that they can't refuse. This software wasn't ridiculously expensive. It was $50 a month for the software, and then but we just weren't using it as much. So $50 a month wasn't too big of a deal. But then the sales rep came back at this point, months later, and said, what if we were to give you the software at half price, 50% off, so $25 per month for 6 months? Recognizing that I was a lost opportunity, I used the software before, I enjoyed it, but for some reason I left them. And they reached out, and that wasn't a bad gig. To make a long story short, we took it and we started using it again. Obviously, 6 months at half price, it's a no-brainer. Now, if that person had went out and hunt for a new business, try to find somebody brand new and to re-educate them about their software and then to not only re-educate them, but get them to be willing to spend money right now, it would have been an uphill battle. It would have been so much tougher. It's not that it's impossible. Of course, you need net new business, but why not focus on people who are right there? Focus on this trash pile who are right in front of you. It's going to take some work, but it's just as much work. I mean, it's going to be less work than you would take if you're reaching out to somebody brand new cold. You're finding them on LinkedIn and going through that cycle and educating them, helping them become aware of you, and then getting them down to being willing to spend money now. This person, me, was spending money previously. It wasn't. They figured if I can get him to ratchet up or to ramp up to where he was before, start off little and get him to back to the optimal level, then at least we are getting something out of him, and it's better than two birds in a bush. You know what I mean? One in a hand right now. So for you, as a buyer, as a sales rep, and you're trying to figure out right now as you're getting out of the COVID pandemic, or you're still battling through the COVID pandemic, or maybe this is way past then when you're listening or watching this video, and you're trying to figure out how can you generate enough interest to maybe get some more deals that can flow through your pipeline quicker. Go into the lost opportunities in your CRM, whether they're your lost opportunities, maybe somebody before you who owned the territory, or perhaps they're just lost deals that are just sitting out there that nobody wants, and it's kosher for you to get them. Make sure it's kosher, because I don't want y'all to start no fight in your organization. Then y'all come back and say, well, Dono said you can do this. You can go ahead and go steal people's lost opportunity. Don't. But get permission, and if you can get permission, then you want to reach out to them. There's several things you want to make sure you remember again. Some of these deals, half of them were lost because of budgetary issues. Perhaps right now the company, maybe you find out, read in the notes, maybe the company didn't have the funding at the time, or perhaps maybe they were just starting off at the time, or maybe they started blowing up now and making tons of money. Maybe they had a cheaper competitor. And if that's the case, then what can you do to make sure that you come prepared to have a conversation? This person recognized when they reached out to me that, hey, this guy was paying $50 a month. For some reason he canceled. Can we ramp him back up to that 50? And the answer is totally yes. Is there a way you can do something like that in your organization? Not necessarily give the farm away for free, but is there a way maybe you can start them off on a smaller package or a smaller level and then get them to scale back up? Perhaps you're selling a solution where it had multiple modules. Maybe you can get them to start using one that they need the most help with now, and that's perhaps maybe module number 1. Maybe they need all of them. Is there a way that you can ease up by maybe if it's licenses, start off with fewer licenses and then ramp up to more licenses? There are many different ways, but it comes down to you being creative and also thinking outside the box, working with your team to ensure that you guys are not going to give away the farm and not get anything in return. The next thing I want you to be aware of is also the timing. Be relevant, understand that I think it is the second 25% of deals that are lost is because of the timing. So maybe the individual that was over it is no longer there. Perhaps they have situations change, or maybe they were working with a current vendor and they just signed a contract and it wasn't the right time. recognize what their usage are. So let's say, for instance, if it's a software, typically maybe it's a monthly reoccurring, or maybe sometimes people sign an annual agreement. You don't want to reach out to someone who is a lost opportunity at the 12-month mark when they're going to re-sign with the competitor. You want to reach out probably 3 months at least before that happens. So let's say I signed a new contract in January 2020. If you want to get a hold of me and you're a competitor, don't wait until December or January of 2021 to try to win my business again. You want to come back around October or even sooner, maybe September, late September, October. You want to start engaging me and having conversations that could help to maybe give you an opportunity to compare what I'm using now with your solution. And I more than likely will entertain that because I want to make sure I'm getting a good deal going into the new agreement. The third thing I want you to be aware of is urgency. Maybe when you go back to this individual, let them know that this deal that you created is only relevant for a certain period of time, because in the past, this deal may have been lost because of urgency. It just wasn't top of their radar. If there's a way that you can help them to recognize we're willing to do this, but we're willing to do this, our team is or our company is going to give this deal for, I don't know if it's going to be on the market for 2 weeks. If that's something you're interested in or a special we're doing right now, would love to have you back. But you can win that individual back. And the fourth thing, maybe they're just not ready right now to do anything at all still. But at least you're able to gain some insights. You're able to put your company in front of them, and it can still go back in a lost opportunity pile if it's not relevant right now. And then you can go back and look at it a little bit later on. The point is, you're sitting on goal often, but you're not looking or digging it up. Get those lost opportunities. It worked for this other company, and now they have me as a customer, and I'm a champion for what they're doing. It's fantastic. If you're curious to find out what software that is, go ahead and comment below and on YouTube, and I'll tell you what that software is. Or if you're listening to this podcast, go ahead and send me a message on LinkedIn, Donald C. Kelly, and I'll be more than willing to tell you what that software company is, and perhaps you can use them as well. Anyways, lost opportunities are gold. I want you to take advantage of it. I do this stuff because I want you to succeed. I give you these tips, I give you these advice, I give you these strategies because I want you to be able to do better at sales than how I was when I was in your shoe. I mean, I'm still selling right now, but I'm running an organization as well. But I want you to give you what I know, man. I want to help you out. So if you know somebody that can benefit from what we're offering as well, send them to YouTube. Send them to LinkedIn. Show them how they can subscribe to the podcast. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, check out our friends Crumble. If you haven't seen them as of yet, if you haven't checked out their software, it's an amazing CRM. You can see the comments in the comments area. I have a little blurb about them, but also it pops up on the screen here at the bottom. You'll see Crumble. Just go to Crumble. There's no U, but CRM, and you see the spelling there. It's a play on words. CRMBLE.com/TSE, and take advantage of Crumble. They have a free plan that can get you going, and if it makes sense and you enjoy it, then build it up. We use it internally for our team, and it helps us out so much. It's just very visual, and we're able to guide that deal or that opportunity down that whole pipeline because it's built on Trello, so it's the visual aspect. It makes it super simple. Anyways, find all the details. Let me know what questions you have. As always, my goal is simple. I want you to go out each and every single day. I want you to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to have meaningful conversation with them. I want you to build some strong opportunities. I want you to build value. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want you to go out each and every single day and do big things. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.